Most people don't need a new year. They need a new identity. If nothing changes inside, 2026 will look exactly like every year before it. Becoming unrecognizable isn't about doing more. It's about removing the version of yourself that keeps surviving instead of building. This isn't motivation. It's a return to discipline. Everyone says they want to change. Very few are willing to disappear long enough to make it happen. Most people try to transform their lives while keeping the same routines, the same habits, the same social circles, and the same excuses, and then they wonder why nothing changes. Becoming unrecognizable doesn't happen publicly. It doesn't happen on social media. It happens in silence, when no one is clapping and no one is watching. This is where most people fail. Not because they lack potential, but because they're addicted to familiarity. They want new results without letting go of the old version of themselves. Most people don't realize they're stuck because being stuck feels familiar. Waking up tired, checking the phone before even standing up, rushing through responsibilities, and calling it a normal life. Over time, repetition feels safe. Not because it's good, but because it's predictable. And predictability slowly replaces ambition. At first, people notice something is wrong. They feel restless. They feel behind. But instead of changing, they distract themselves. More content, more noise, more comfort. Anything to avoid sitting alone with the thought that they're capable of more, but living like less. That discomfort fades and numbness takes its place. Years don't pass because time is fast. They pass because days are identical. Same habits, same excuses, same conversations, same promises made at night and broken in the morning. The real danger is the quiet acceptance of, this is just how life is. Almost focused, almost disciplined, almost proud, almost changing. Living in the gap between who you are and who you know you could be slowly erodes self-respect. A life that feels busy on the outside, but stagnant on the inside. This is where transformation either begins or never happens. Clarity is knowing exactly what needs to change, not just wishing things were different. Most people feel lost because they think too broadly. I want a better life. I want more discipline. That's not clarity. Clarity starts when you can point to one specific behavior and say, this is holding me back. If you can't name the problem precisely, you can't fix it. Transformation begins the moment confusion ends. If you want to become unrecognizable, you must first remove what is draining you daily. That means reducing useless screen time, limiting constant notifications, and stopping the habit of consuming content without intention. You should do this because your attention is your most valuable resource. Every hour spent distracted is an hour reinforcing the identity you're trying to escape. A less input creates more mental space, and space is where discipline grows. You also need to redesign your mornings, not with a perfect routine, but with a rule. One non-negotiable action you do every day before distractions start. It could be training, studying, planning, or working on a skill. You do this not to feel productive, but to prove to yourself that you are in control of your day. When you win the first hour, your mind stops negotiating for the rest of it. Another change you must make is removing friction between you and your goals. If you want to train, your clothes should already be ready. If you want to study, your phone should be out of reach. If you want focus, your environment must reflect that. Most people rely on willpower and fail. Systems work because they don't depend on mood. You don't rise because you're motivated. You rise because the path of least resistance leads you forward. Finally, you need clarity about who you're becoming. Every decision you make is a vote for a future version of yourself. When you choose comfort, you're voting for the old identity. When you choose discipline, you're voting for the new one. You should ask yourself daily, does this action move me closer to being unrecognizable, or does it keep me familiar? Change doesn't happen all at once. It happens the moment your decisions stop contradicting your goals. At some point, clarity stops being enough. This is where most people hesitate. They understand what needs to change, but they delay the decision. Not because they don't know what to do, but because deciding means closing doors. You can't become unrecognizable while keeping every option open. Growth requires commitment, and commitment always feels uncomfortable at first. You will also have to accept a phase of isolation, not loneliness, but distance. Fewer conversations, fewer explanations, fewer people who understand what you're doing. This isn't punishment, it's protection. Every major transformation requires a season where your energy is guarded. If you keep exposing unfinished plans, outside opinions will dilute your focus. Becoming unrecognizable also means letting go of your old standards. The version of you that tolerated excuses, distractions, and weak boundaries cannot come with you. You don't need to hate who you were, but you do need to stop obeying that version. Respect for yourself grows when your actions align with your intentions, consistently, even when no one is watching. This is the final decision. Either you return to comfort after this video, or you start building a life that no longer needs external validation. No countdown, no announcement, just quiet execution. Because when the transformation is real, you won't need to tell anyone. They'll see it. Most people will leave this video feeling inspired. Very few will leave it changed. In a few days, motivation will fade, routine will return, life will try to pull you back into what's familiar. This is where the decision you made today either survives or disappears. Becoming unrecognizable isn't about intensity. It's about consistency when no one is watching and nothing feels exciting anymore. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need permission. You don't need to explain yourself. You only need to protect the discipline you're building long enough for it to become who you are. The world doesn't reward potential. It responds to execution. 2026 isn't waiting for a new version of you. It's waiting for the version that finally stopped negotiating,